It's either a major spot or bust for one of these teams.
Major or bust indeed. Who was booking their ticket to Stockholm? Inferno will decide. Nades for Liaz and for Bentet. Good amount of utility for EG as well, but I don't see a kit over across the board on EXTREMUM, so they're going to try and hold this one down without allowing that bomb to be planted. Oboe does have that aforementioned objective piece. Breeze has a Molotov. And A does seem to be the place that EG are trying to take. Rat's holding down in towards Boiler Stairs, looking for the first piece, but he gets domed by Mihu. That's a good start for EG now, as they can explode on towards this A side. They don't have to do it fast, as EXTREMUM are already rotating in the extra player. They're sending Jakim here. Flash is coming through. Smoke by Liaz. Nade goes out as well, but it does actually a lot of damage. In comes Azur as well. One headshot, only one. Liaz still holding the line, and Jakim's come in as the cavalry. It's a 3v2 now in the favor of EXTREMUM, as Liaz is still holding a bit. And it's all down to Cirque on the Glock. It's an Emerald, but it's not going to shine here as he's getting mowed down, hemmed down, and put down. Bentet gets the final kill, and EXTREMUM do not need a kit as they finish it off in style with kills.
Wow, nicely done for EXTREMUM, closing down the bomb site when EG looked like they had an opening. EXTREMUM said no. 1-0 in their favor. And looking at EG, well, they're going to force up into this round. They got 3 Deagles, the Tech 9, and the Mac 10 in Cirque's hands. Maybe going to be a quick push down Banana here, but the way they're posturing, I think they're going to go for an opening contact frag and decide where they will end up after that. Stanislaw is going quite aggressively towards the half wall, though. Some utility exchanging hands on both sides. And it looks like, oh, Stanislaw is going to be worse for wear. Just saw that. He's down to 31 HP thanks to a nade thrown by EXTREMUM. And with that, EG decide, all right, let's backpedal a little bit. Maybe head back towards mid, as Cirque has pushed his way up there.
There's a lot of utility being used out towards top mid, though, and EXTREMUM still have enough to hold this pushback. EG were hoping for aggression from the CT side, but they're not getting it just yet. A flash for Bentet, but he's only going to peek it and then fade away. They don't want to overextend. They don't want to put themselves in bad situations. They want to be able to hold the line. They want to be able to win this round clean and set up for a nice bonus round. They have all those SMGs as well, ready to knock down some unarmored players. And EG, their time is dwindling, so they're going to have to make a move sooner rather than later. A will be the play, but the Molotov for Azur can definitely shut this down.
Breeze, pushing into the apartments. He gets just mowed down by Liaz, gives him no room to breathe. 5v4 in favor of EXTREMUM. The SMGs looking to farm the frags and the money. Liaz spraying Mihu down, and now it's going to be Azur getting one. Liaz, Grad, and Azur again, mopping things up. All of the frags coming with the MP9, $600 a pop for each frag. So they build up their economy, and they head into round number 3. Well, with a bit of a bonus on their hands. If they can get this one under their belts as well, it'll be very problematic for EG. And just realize, actually, no, EG are going to be on the eco here, so it should be an EXTREMUM round victory, of course.
Yeah, only one casualty is going to be good for their bank, and if they can get those kills with the MP9s this round, even more so. EG, probably not much they can hope to do. They have a flashbang, and they'll probably just use it up towards either banana or middle. They even are allowed to get out of T-stairs. Bentet's keeping a good eye on things. There goes that flashbang out towards banana. Counter utility coming through from both sides of the map as Jakim's going to swing for 1 and 2 and 3. Stanislaw gets one trade back, but Bentet mops it up. There's that B hole between Jakim and Bentet. Third round on the board for EXTREMUM. As expected, they will not lose the rifle either. So a bonus round is now about to commence here for the CT side. EG going for the full AK buy-up, but bonus rounds on Inferno can always win especially easily because of how good SMGs and shotguns are in these close range angles. Good amount of utility overall for EXTREMUM 2 to hold down the pushes, so they're primed and ready to win this round.
Now it'll be the bonus round for EXTREMUM. A couple of MP9s, the FAMAS, the M4, and the A1S. Important one for EG. Try and get themselves on the board here on their T side. Flashbang right in the face of Azur. But he's not too fussed. No real play made off of it by EG. Breeze just crosses paths with a cute little chicken. But here comes some firepower from Extremum. Breeze spots out one. Extremum realize what's going on, so they back off a little bit, but Breeze gets one, not the second. The trade comes through for Grat. 4v4 and an upgrade to an M4 on his side. Mihu boosted up over the half wall as EG are looking for a pathway into the B site. Jacob has a Molotov and a smoke to work with. He's likely going to toss one of those out here. There goes the smoke. Molotov behind it. And it actually doesn't bloom. It goes in the smoke. So Molotov misses the mark. Stanislaw gets one on Bentet. Jacob trying to spray through the smoke, but Mihu spots him out. And EG have control of the site. The bomb planted. And Extremum on the run.
Extremum don't even look like they want to commit to this take. Grat's so far away. He's just picked up the AK, and he looks content to hold on to that into the next round. Azur as well, holding on to the M4, playing a bit for exits out in CT spawn. That time's too far gone now. EG will get their first round on the board against the bonus buy from Extremum. It's a good response here from EG, but can they build on it remains to be seen. Extremum should be able to get the op out in the hands of Grat. Let's see if they can activate him early. Showed some promise there on Mirage, especially in the latter portion of the game. Let's see if he can get a little bit more going with the big green gun. Azur, he's pushing it behind, looking for a little more damage after the time, but he's not going to get anything. This is a great read by Mihu, though, to go in after he hears the reload sound come through.
Yeah, great work, of course, by Mihu to help his squad get on the board. Rifles were out, of course, up against the bonus round. We have to keep that in mind for Extremum, because now they're going to have the double op. Bentet and Grat rocking those, and we did talk about how good Grat was when they faced off against ATK here on Inferno. So let's see if he's got more of that in him. This time boosted up on top of the head of his teammate, and he does go for a shot. Gets the information at the very least, but no one connecting on either side here, so we still stand at a 5v5 as Mihu closes the gap, moves towards top mid. Smoke gonna pop off there. Bit of a gap in the left side. So Extremum could have hung around if they wanted to, but they decided, you know what, let's go more passively here. Get back onto the A site proper.
EG have taken a lot of utility to take some map control, but they haven't exactly gone with it yet. They're going to rotate back in towards B, where Bentet awaits with the AWP in hand. Without a flashbang, they will surely pay. That's the bomb drop, but Liaz has been found elsewhere out. Good little tag there by Bentet as well. And now it's Jacob's turn to farm as the bomb goes forward. Stanislaw pushing in, will trade, and Bentet gets domed by Oboe. Now things are turning into a bit of a mess here as Breeze still continues to work his way around the map. But he's going to go and regroup with his teammates Bananas. The bomb goes down. Azur and Grat trying to retake in from CT spawn. Grat has a good amount of utility. Nade will go forward, unlike Stanislaw in the last round of Mirage. Has a molly and a couple flashbangs across the team, but they seem content to save here. And I don't fault them for this at all. They want to keep the op and the M4 in their hands. They want to fight in the next round.
Yeah, and they'll be able to with this save, with Jacob likely getting the drop of the M4 from Azur, and Azur can buy up an M4 for himself, and maybe enough for another one? No, probably not. But either way, Extremum will lose another one here, and once the rifle rounds came out, well, 2-round losses recorded on the board for Extremum. As mentioned, though, they will have a buy into this round. Over on the EG side, they'll refill what they've lost with 4 AKs, the op, and full utility across the board. But look at this. It looks like a more passive play coming through from Extremum. Very conservative. They decide not to invest too much into this round. They say, you know what? Let's try to make it work with the op and the A1S. Swag 7 bought it by Jacob, and you saw what he could do on Mirage. Maybe he's got more of that in him. Where is he going to play it? I'm guessing the half wall? No, he decides to go towards the apartments. Interesting. Well, Cirque gets the opener over on Azur. Quick 5v4, and that's the rifle lost. Interesting idea from Azur. Try and go for the aggression, but it just doesn't really yield anything at all.
Liaz still up close and personal over the half wall. He will get Goomba stomped there by Mihu as Bentet retreats back towards site. Grat will pick off Mihu, though. Maybe give a little bit more of a fight. He'll go through, but he's not going to connect the next shot. Knife was out there at the end, but he goes down. Bentet picks up a free Stanislaw. Not a chance for a second, though. Breeze will clear that one cleanly. And Jacob with his Mag 7 is going to rotate around, go for something here, but Oboe's going to walk right into him and put him to bed. 3-3 now the scoreline is. EG's T side has brought it back. This is very similar to what we saw in Mirage, though, so I'm not going to draw any conclusions into the early going.
Yeah, and also don't forget that Extreme decided to go more passively into that round in terms of their buy, which I like because now they'll have a full buy here. And I think Jacob just wanted to try and retrieve the M4 off the ground at mid and obviously didn't expect the P to come through so aggressively, and that was the end of the round for him. So, Extremum, 3 A1Ss, the A4, and the AWP. 3 players, in fact, also headed towards Banana, and they're going to use some utility very quickly to try and win this battle. EG appear intent on tossing some Molotovs and nades at the top of Banana, and I think they'll win this duel if they decide to push up here. There is still the Molotov from Extremum that they have to wait for. And look at that last nade. That does push EG back. And Extremum have the advantage of Banana, but here's Liaz on the A site, gets flashed out. We'll have to back off to the site itself while Grat peeks around, gets flashed. Don't think he saw the player there, and look at this, they're cycling around. Pincer attack is in force for EG onto the site. Obo gets one on Grat after Grat gets one. Liaz drops Stanislaw, but can't deal with the overload by EG. 3v2 in favor of the Evil Genius's side. Jacob, last one standing now as Breeze gets Bentet, and he will have to fall off. Extremum, despite the fact that they had full rifles into the round, just could not deal with that execute from EG.
Jacob might not even be allowed to save. Obo's on the hunt, spots him out. But I don't know if Obo's going to overextend here. He's going to keep on fighting out towards Fountain, and he's going to be joined up by Breeze as well. Cirque's going to go Banana, make sure this gun cannot be saved by Jacob if they can avoid it. Utility out in hand. Flashbang comes in, but it pops a little too late. Obo walks right into the doorway. Breeze could fall as well. And Jacob will get himself a bit of a stat pad here, but Cirque is still honing in on his position with the op. He's ready for the peek from Jacob, who will not give it to him. 4-3. Nice little exit bonus there for Jacob, but the rest of his team are going to be a little struggling for money. See what they want to invest with here. Probably not going to go too heavy here, John. Might even go for a half buy. Just use the M4 as that hero rifle. And try and work around the rest of the map with pistols.
Well, I mean, look, you have a full loss bonus hitting in the next round, so that's certainly going to help. But at the same time, you got a 3-0 lead. Everything was looking good heading into the rifle round, and EG are on 4 in a row. 4 unanswered rounds. Grat, along with Jacob, stacked up here with 2 of their teammates onto the A site. There's only one at B. That is Bentet with a smoke and a P250, so definitely the softer site right now. And EG appear to be leaning quite heavily towards it. Stan throws the Molotov and just backs off behind Obo. Looks like Extreme are going to get another player up here. And that boost onto Flower Pots could prove to be a difference maker if EG do not check it after throwing the smoke for CT Cross.
It's good rotations back towards B from Extremum. Liaz starting to head on over as well. The 4 players will await the onslaught of EG. However, EG still have not committed to it fully. I think Mihu's just waiting for a mid-rotation, though. He's not really going to go back towards A. In comes the swing towards Banana, however. And this is going to be a bloodbath on the B side if the utility is light for EG, where they're not even careful about clearing one particular angle. They don't clear boost, they don't clear bottom. There's one thing that can go wrong for EG and basically spell doom. That's a good Molotov to first oranges to start things off. In they come. Lee has the first, and he swings through for one. Azur yet to reveal his own position, and he's going to spray away for another, but Bentet has also fallen in the meantime. Jacob rotates in towards Graveyard. He'll push forward and walk through a smoke. Breeze greets him nicely and sends him out the door. Gratisfaction, the last alive. 1v4 with a USP. And about a 0% chance of winning this round here. EG, they avoid devastation and win their 5th.
Yeah, all Grad is hoping for right now is they don't clear this corner and they walk right past him. He just wants to get a rifle upgrade, and well, now he's having a bit of a peek because no one's running down here. Doesn't have a kit, so of course he can't go for a ninja. And the player's running away, and that will be the round. Grat might be able to get a rifle. There it is, AK on the ground. Picks up the MP9 instead because he knows they're going to make sure that he can't grab that AK and he's going to die. He couldn't get away. Breeze ends up going down as well, so that's a little costly here for the EG side. As, well, they take a 5-3 lead and a timeout going to be called here. Can't really blame them for Extremum.
Can't blame them at all. And they've been good at using their timeouts when they start to hit a slide. It saved them on Mirage. Can it save them here on Inferno in the early going? That's a different question, a different story. Overall, though, EG looked to be back to their old shenanigans, winning a lot of their aim duels and reading the game decently well. Meanwhile, Extremum really haven't found a counter to what they're doing. The utility usage from EG has been good, and Extremum haven't been able to counter with either that or with their own aim duels.
And Breeze again at the top of the scoreboard. 7 frags for himself. Everyone contributing, though, here for the EG side. Stan and Obo behind him with 4 and 6 respectively. Over on Extremum, one thing we can't forget about that previous round, it was just a hero M4 that came through. The other players were all saving up for what will be now a full-on buy-up. 3 M4s, the op. Make that 4 M4s in the op here for Extremum. And they are just dropping a bunch of utility towards that B site to help support the hold. EG, on the other hand, well, they've got all 4 players, I should say all 5 players working mid, and now 3 charging in towards Arch side. Azer's on the other end waiting, and he gets 2 for Extremum. That is a great start for the Aussie side. And only 3 players left for EG now. Nade toss forward, it will go past them. Won't connect for much, and there's Azer drop to the ground. 4v3 now, man advantage.
Oh, Jakem, he's got a chance to backstab here, but Cirque goes back and is chased off by the A1 spray. Stanislaw swings and Breeze is caught by Grat. Cirque and Stan now trying to bring their way back. Grat is falling to Cirque. He's going to try and take out Liaz too. He does! Flick onto Porch, and he's ready for the mid play from Bentet, walking into the op scope, and it's Cirque to be a monster in this round. Bomb can go down, Stan can cross to sight, but they have more than enough time, so they don't even have to rush this. Jakem's going to try and come back in, make sure they cannot win this round. Would be a 1v2 for him, but Cirque's still holding that lane angle. Jakem, no idea if they're going back towards B, and now they cross to side as a pair. Bomb will be going down. Or wait, are they going to push in towards B, CT spawn? They don't have the time to run it all the way back to CT and B. They have to plan towards A. They're going to get shut down by Jakem. Surely they don't win this round.
No, they do have time. They just have to hightail it over, and Jakem could catch them off, though. He's likely going to get the info at the very least. No! He gets one, and then Cirque trades him out, so the bomb plant doesn't even matter. EG, a bit of a risky play towards the end. Still had time. But yeah, it ended up being the right one. At least it works out for them. And it's a shame that Extremum can't win that round after that 2K comes through from Azer. Cirque, wicked flick, and then he looks in the exact right direction to find Bentet to ensure the round would go in favor of EG. He brought that back from a 2v4 to a round victory.
Yeah, that was fantastic work from Cirque. That second shot on the Porch player was incredible. And then the read to expect Bentet coming up through middle. Just overall, brilliance there from Cirque on the op. Now it's Obo's turn to shine. He's got an idea that Grat somewhere in the vicinity spams him down quite heavily, and then burns him alive in conjunction with his shots. Jakem up close with a Mag 7. Looking to find an unlucky victim. Breeze sets the right way, and he's going to spam him down to the corner of the wall. Obo is very low, however. Breeze, that's the first damage he's taken in the round off that nade. It's a 5v3 for EG. Just looking to stabilize things, grow some bank, as their money is very low on Mihu and Stanislaw. And EG's trying to get that lead even bigger and better. Would be a 7th on the board for them, 1 round away from securing the half, leaving Extremum still at 3. That is... It's a crazy scoreline. You would have expected a bit of a stronger defensive half from Extremum, especially looking at their recent stats in the last 3 months. They win about 70%. Actually, wait, no. They are stronger on the T side. So they're only about 52% win rate on their CT rounds, 60 on T. But they still need to get a little closer, or else EG are definitely going to set themselves up nicely.
Well, here comes EG onto a completely vacated A site because Extreme were stacking towards B, so this will be a free plant. And, well, I mean, Extreme could try to go for some exits here.
Yeah. No reason to save the pistols, except for maybe Azer, who has armor. Everyone else should be going for something. If you get an AK, you get an AK. If you die, what's $300 going to do in the favor of EG? Nothing, really. No reason to save these guns, only to go for exits and see if you can salvage something. I don't think the Mag 7 is what they were hoping to salvage either. Perhaps Bentet's going to go in and beat a human Dozier nade. Bomb going to explode momentarily. Damage done to Stanislaw, but now they're just going to mop him up. All three? Oh no, only Mihu dies. So,
All right.
still, 1 kill, I guess. You can call it a kill.
Still, look at the money here for EG. Cirque was at 10K coming into this round. Obo's now at 8.8 and Breeze at 6K plus. Stan and Mihu a little lower, but still above 3K, and they've got the guns in their hands already. They just needed to refill their utility, which they already have. So you're going to have likely 4 AKs and the op in Cirque's hands here. Actually, no, I take that back. Obo has the Krieg in his hands, which of course you can use for those mid duels. Yeah, Grat was on the receiving end. A nice shot from the SG. I think it was Cirque that time.
Yeah.
All the way back to Nuke. Yeah, all the way back to Nuke. But Stanislav is going to throw a flashbang through here. Make sure that Extremum can't really gain some ground. And yeah, EG winning this duel. The battle of utility at Banana pretty cleanly. And 4 players are just going to post up and wait for some aggression to come through. Extremum does now try to throw some Molotovs down there. And they catch off Cirque and Stan for a little bit of damage. And it looks like Extremum have successfully fended off E, at least for the time being, towards the B site. Bentet uses the space that he gained to jump on top of those sandbags and try to catch EG off guard in this position. I have a feeling they're going to be clearing it, though. Bentet waits patiently. There's the boost from Stan. He's not going to see it, but he flicks up anyway and hits the headshot. Mihu does get the immediate trade, so EG have the advantage headed to the B site. Look at this rotation, from Extremum, though. It looked like they were going to send 3 players, decide for only 1. So, as it stands, neither team have the edge so far in this round.
Nice little trade peek set up there from EG to get that first kill on the Benton, who's been a very heavy hitter for Extremum, but Grat hits one from Dark. This is out of flashbang too. Mihu's blind and Jakim capitalizes. Now things stabilize in favor of Extremum. Grat's coming forward, but Obo has one on the creep, making a double. Obo's tapping heads. Cirque's shooting through the smoke and almost tracing the kill. He's tagged down a little further though and has to fade away in towards New Box. I know the last 2 players are coming in through CT spawn, however. In comes Azar looking for a first victim. Cirque's looking towards spawn, however. And Obo's in towards water. Cirque, he dashes towards pillar. And Azar will aggress. Obo goes for a swing, but Liaz greets him with a headshot. 4th round on the board for Extremum. But that got way too close for comfort there, John. Obo almost made that one viable.
I don't think EG should have gotten that plant, honestly.
No.
It's all Obo. Oh my goodness. With the SG from that range, it's not the easiest to do. That spray is really quite difficult to control, but if you know it, as Obo does, you can do the damage. And that was a wicked shot from Grat, by the way. Threading the needle for the headshot. But it's Extremum finally back on the board here after losing 7 in a row. They get their 4th. Double op going to come out for Extremum as well. Bentet and Grat rocking those. And they have M4s to round out their buy. Over on EG side, it's not always, of course, that you see the op being run on T side of Inferno, but Cirque, of course, solid AWP. Main offer, so he's going to come through and use that quite effectively so far at the very least. Obo, though, can't keep his ground over at Banana. Jacob takes him down with the A1S and continuing to spam on through the smoke as Jacob nade connects. Mihu down to 46 and Stan down to 88. They are just going to have to fall back now. They lost that Banana battle very early on.
Little more nade damage onto Cirque this time, since it's a nade chucked by Stanislav, so friendly fire is in effect here. Bentet flashed away. Still going to hold the half-wall angle, though. Will they expect this boost? Most likely not. They're not going to flash into this either. They're going to dry peek into the op. They double swing, but he's able to get away at 1. It's a nice play by Bentet. Stanislav trying to reconnect and recontrol Banana here. But a Molotov comes through from Extremum to hold them at bay. Time dwindling down to 51 seconds. And Extremum have all 5. Jacob and Bentet ready to shut down this B site take from EG. In comes their utility. They have 2 Molotovs, and the flashbangs are going to have to be perfect. There's a boost up in the new box that's going to burn. Oh, they smoke it out instead. Jacob's still going to hold. He's going to get himself 2 for free. Cirque's going to walk in, and he is going to miss the first shot. Go back for a second and drop Bentet at the very least. Jacob, though, has the final kill. 2 straight for Extremum. They're closing the gap here. We only have a few more rounds to go before this half, and EG are going to call a timeout, and wisely so.
Well played on the new box stack there by Extremum. They had the smoke ready. They knew the Molotov was coming, and then it's just Jacob farming away with the frags here. Oh my goodness, did not miss a beat at all. As no space gained on the EG side. Extremum, signs of life. 2 rounds in a row now. And it looks like EG are going to force up into this round. Kind of makes sense. The economy is a little odd, but they will be able to get an AWP, 2 AKs, a MAC-10, and a Deagle, which is certainly enough to make things work, along with a very good chunk of utility.
The utility damage really has been favoring EG though for the bulk of these rounds, which is something very good for them. Which is probably why they have 7 rounds of the board too on the T side. So it's something it's been a very strong point for them. If they can continue it, they can grow off of it. Double ops though still in effect for Extremum, and they finally started to find some form with them. Although, nothing's going to be overextended from the CT side this round. They're just going to hold back and await EG's eventual move. The SMG and the Deagle are going to be a bit of a question mark, and now that Deagle's chunked down to 48. Don't think he'll go Bogdan Law with that one. Leaves Cirque on the op, especially the way he's been playing. But EG, they've been leaving A a little bit quiet in the last few rounds, and I think Extremum are getting used to that. They're feeling the lack of pressure towards the A site and gambling more heavily towards B.
Yeah, and EG's hit towards A has been good, so, why not go back to it? They keep trying to force their way onto the B side, at least for the past couple of rounds. It hasn't worked out, and it looks like now they're thinking about going towards A. You got to credit Extremum, excuse me, for some great utility usage, great pacing to it. And they still have, 5 flashes and 2 smokes left. That can burn more time off the clock. And look at this. They forced EG into a B site hit exactly where they want them, because Jacob is at the top of the scoreboard and has double the frags of the second place Grat and Bentet. That's the player you want to face off against this EG squad right now.
Bentet holding pillar, spots the first on the cross, flashbang, and a second one while he's full blind. Looking for a third kill, Breeze will settle, but in comes Jacob, he'll get 2, shut down by Cirque on the op, and he can get the bomb down in just a moment. This is a doable 1v3 for Cirque, especially the way he's been playing, and he's going to dash in towards Church and hold the walk-up line. They're going to walk up elsewhere, though, and the smoke has faded. No more utility after those flashbangs for them to take the site with. And Cirque's got the first face, but he doesn't hit the shot! It's Grat instead, and Extremum 3 straight will grab a 6th round!
Yeah, I thought Cirque was going to hit that first one, but just moved his crosshair a little bit off right at the last moment and didn't hit the shot. So, Extremum, there we go. They're back into it, 7-6. Things are really tightening up now. This is such a great opener and second shot by Bentet. Of course, Jacob, his usual self. Going to get a couple before Cirque ends him. And at the very least, EG do get a bomb plant out of that round, but it's still not enough for a full and proper investment. So they're going to save their money for the 15th and final round of play here in this first half of action. They've got the pistols, a couple of techs, P250, and 2 Deagles. We'll see if they use those techs to go for a quick hit towards B. And, well, they tried, at least Standard, but Jacob was right there to shut him down once more. Jacob only 3 frags away from hitting a 20 bomb before the second half even starts. Here come the nade sailing on through. Bentet goes down. There's Jacob again to drop another one. Oz are supporting as well. 3 players were stacked up here, and they read EG like a book. Jacob, another one on the board. Breeze last one, and Ozzer shuts him down. Tied up 7-7.
It's not too hard to read EG right now. Their basic playbook has devolved to rush B. Not quite literally rush B, but they go B almost every single round. And Extremum, they're not going to shy away from that fight. You have Bentet, you have Jacob on that site. Leave Grat, who's playing well on this map, to hold over towards A. Rotate Azure around. And overall, there's no fear for Extremum right now in this round. It's just to hold your sights, let EG walk in, because they're walking into your crosshairs for free. And if they do challenge B, Bentet's good for 2, and Jacob's good for 2 as well. Timeout called by EG. Let's see what they have in store for us in round number 15. Cirque does not have the op, which is something to keep an eye on here. And let's see what they can overall do. This T side started off great with that 7-round streak, John, but it's looked very flat in these last 4 rounds.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to do much of anything, and you could thank Jacob for that, of course, since, I mean, and also the rest of Extremum for funneling EG towards the B site with some really well-timed utility. Let's see if EG decide to take matters into their own hands this time and go for a full-on A execute. And at this point, as mentioned, the way Jacob is playing, A site is a better option, but I think Extremum are thinking that that's exactly what's going to happen here, and they have a three-man stack at Porch. This could be so devastating for EG if it pans out for Extremum, but they already lose one. Liaz only finds one frag. Stanislaw drops Jacob, and now Azer behind the smoke. They're not going to clear him. Grad is there. Azar gets one, excuse me, and then Mihu trades it on back. 3v2, 3v1, EG overloading onto A. There it is. Bentet, the last one standing with the AWP. There's not much he can do. He has to pull off a 1v3 and get the bomb defused. Misses the first shot. They know exactly where to look now. And Bentet backing off to line up the utility. Smoke gonna come through here. He has everything. Nade flies in. Has to hurry it up a little bit because he still has the frags to find here. Dunks the Molotov onto the site proper. Here he comes. Time taken away. Flashbang thrown and nothing doing at all. It's over. Mihu finds the last one. 8-7 in favor of EG. We're going to hit a quick break, but after this, the final half in the best of three.
Half number one down to the wire. The match has gone down to the final map. One team will make the major. One team will sit on the sidelines and watch. John, it's down to the final half of Inferno, and we're tied. Does it get any more Inferno than this?
Well, it doesn't get any closer than this at the very least, right? For a major spot, but yeah, it's very much typical Inferno, 8 to 7 half to kick things off. A very balanced map when we're at this level of play. Alrighty. We'll be jumping into the pistol round very, very shortly. As we got, I think, a bit of a technical timeout coming through.
Yeah, a bit of a pause here before we kick things off, but what a first half. 3-0 for Extremum, 7-3 for EG, and then 8-7 in the end, where EG literally threw bodies at the porch problem and won the round off at the back of it. That first half was absolutely wild. And both teams used their timeouts well to counter things, but going into half number 2, things stay very much the same. It's going to be a very, very small margin between who actually wins this map and thereby the match and who loses.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to how both teams play their respective sides. I mean, look, Extremum is a very good Inferno team, and their T side is strong as well. So I still think, despite the fact that they go here onto their T side with a round disadvantage, that won't be much of a difference maker. Oh boy, but EG's playing better than I expected, to be quite honest. They had a pretty nice lead padded for themselves at 7-3 before Extremum ended up getting 4 in a row. But I don't know. This one's really certainly going to have an interesting finish. There's no doubt about it. And don't forget, if you're just tuning in and you don't know what's going on, this is the final half for both of these teams in IEM Fall. And the winner gets a spot in the major. The loser is done. They're out. Show them the door because they will not be participating at the major. Wow. So much at stake here. But we still got to wait. We got to wait a little bit longer, huh?
Yeah, waiting on a cam fix from the looks of things, so we'll have to be waiting for that to kick off. But, you know, this is really for all of the marbles. And two, for positioning wise, I believe if Extremum win, they get a legend spot into the major. But if EG win, they're stuck at contenders as like the lowest seed out of North America. So there's still like that positional change that could happen as well as to what happens with one team wins and one team loses. It's not just that cut and dry. It's not just one team goes to the majors. One team can go to the majors a legend status, and the other one has to battle through contenders.
Very true. There's still a lot to be decided, I think, in terms of positioning with some matches left to be played, of course. But, I mean, here's an update. Liquid lost 2-0 against Godsent. I call that an upset without a doubt. I think it was 16-8 on map number 2.
Yeah, 16-8.
What happened there?
Godsent have been looking very, very good. I don't think we can fault them at all.
No,
I
they
think we
have.
can say Godsent have been looking incredible. They just beat Fury earlier on too, last weekend. So for Godsent, this is just another feather in the cap at this point. They continue to push forward. They continue to beat teams. Just continue to get better and better and better.
I think it also could be because Liquid is now guaranteed a spot in the major. Maybe there's a bit of a fall off in terms of motivation. Who knows? But either way, yeah, that could also be the case, right? So, yeah, I mean, we're going to see Liquid at the major regardless, and Godsent has impressed. There's no doubt about it, not only in that match, but throughout the group stage as well, as it looks like we've got everything sorted here. Finally, this pistol round will be getting underway. So, I mean, Evil Geniuses were dominating at the beginning, winning 3 pistol rounds in a row, but since then, it's been Extremum.
Who's going to pick up this pistol round? It'll be a good early boost to whoever does. EG on the CT side do not have a kit. They don't really seem to like to buy the kits on the CT side of pistol rounds, which is a bit strange. They're going to leave one player to hold down the B site where Extremum want to run. The Molotov does some damage, but it's going to be down to Obo on the flank. One! Breeze comes in for a second, and Stanislaus just giving up that B site, letting him play a retake, letting his teammates come up banana. Jacob only one. Cirque and Mihu have the bomb down to their feet now, and it's all down to Bentet. 1v4. Walking in, spots out Stanislaus, dealing some damage away, but he's going to have a very hard time of being able to pull off this round. Will not even get the kill on Stanislaus. 9-7. EG win the round, and they don't allow a bomb plant. Huge moves from EG. And now it's time to see if they can counter the force, if Extremum even want to go for the force.
If there's one concern I have for Extremum right now, it's how top-heavy their fragging is for Jacob at 20 and 11, and closest to him, less than half the frags that he has are Azur and Bentet at 9. I mean, the rest of the team certainly going to have to step up, especially on the T side here, as Jacob will almost certainly be traded out, especially if he goes for those entries. Over on EG, though, it's much more balanced, which is typically what you want to see in any match of Counter-Strike. Stanislaus is going to be pushing down banana, a bit of a gap in the smoke on the lower right side, so he's going to try to abuse that to spot out the legs of a player. Maybe spam on through. Extremum are going to be on a save here, deciding not to force up since they didn't get that bomb plant in the previous round, Austin.
It's a wise call. You see a lot of teams still going for the force regardless of that fact, but Extremum can get AKs up in round number 18, the third round of this half. A little bit of nade damage being back on towards Extremum from EG. Cirque picking out an MP5, not exactly the gun you see often, but he's going for it. He's going to get himself only one. So Jacob's at 1 HP, which is about the 4th or 5th time somebody's been on 1 HP in this matchup so far. And it's a good kill for Extremum to have. It's going to keep them a little bit more in terms of damage on towards EG, give them a little bit more confidence, and thin that economy out a little bit more.
Well, going to get dinked down to 58. He gets a 2K, though. Jacob and Liaz go down. Azur does make some noise, but only a little bit as Mihu takes him down with the FAMAS. So there you go. The anti-eco got a little interesting for a moment, but the evil geniuses close it out 10-7 in their favor. They've hit double digits first, but the AKs are now up and running on the Extremum side. Over on EG, it will be a bonus round. 2 FAMASes, the MP9, and I think Cirque and Breeze. No, Cirque is going to go for the FAMAS, so only Breeze upgrading to the A1S. Extremum going to send 3 players down alt mid and 2 lurking towards banana for the time being. Well, it's only going to be 1 now, as Azur is going to head his way up mid.
Jacob going to be the first to lead the charge. Azur with him. Cirque drops the smoke. They're going to charge forward. In comes this player from Library, but it's Obo to fall first. Cirque, however, holds the line for at least 1 kill. Spots up the second. He sprays down Jacob too. Rotations are coming in for EG, trying to win the bonus round against Extremum. Bented leading the charge of flame. There's a Molotov to hold him at bay. He's going through the fire and the flames. He'll carry on forward, but Breeze is holding the line. 1-2 kills. He doesn't clear the player on sight. Lucky to stay alive. Stanislaus keeps him that way. And EG 4 rounds above Extremum and 5 rounds away from punching their ticket into the major.
That was weird for Extremum. Just tried to plow through to the A side. This is obviously really big for Cirque to find the 2 openers with the FAMAS, but you got to clear a balcony. No one even looks there. So Breeze gets 2 frags. Extremum on their first rifle buy-up didn't really look that great. And it's going to be a 4-round lead now for EG. That said, we've seen some crazy rounds come through, in particular on Mirage, on these types of buy-ups. So, Extremum, maybe with the Deagles, can make some noise. Grat sees the smoke bloom right in front of him, and, well, now he's going to fall back a little bit. Everyone just kind of hovering around mid and alt mid right now for Extremum, as EG patiently waiting their arrival. Not really much information in towards bracket, but they will throw a nice smoke to at least keep Extremum at bay for the time being.
I like this banana aggression from EG, but they have to be careful not to overextend. Mihu, though, will get himself a nice headshot through the smoke on Negrat. In the meantime, however, Extremum are charging their way up towards A, but perhaps they'll go back towards B into the waiting arms of Stanislaus. And he's still going to hold from logs, try and get himself 2 or even 3 kills. Shoulder shows, swing comes through. Another spray for him. Mihu holding it roll from top banana. Smoked off, though. So lots resting on the shoulders of Stanislaw. He's going to hit that next shot, though. And Obo finishes off Liaz 12-7. Great anti-eco here from EG. And this is where things become a little more rough for Extremum.
Oh,
5-round gulf, a large chasm to cross, and only 4 rounds now for EG.
Not to mention, EG wins their bonus round, helping their economy, and then they win the follow-up round without losing a single body. So now everyone above the 4K mark, 4 out of 5 in fact, above 5K with their buy-ups already complete. Stan is sticking with the MP9, can't really blame him. It's still a very powerful weapon even up against those AKs. And then they got 3 AKs and an A1S on the CT side. So a significant edge for EG here with that one-shot headshot potential. Bentet, along with Grat, moving their way slowly but surely up banana here. Grat's going to line up the Molotov to make sure that no one's going to be hanging around that close corner. That'll give Bentet the opportunity to clear sandbags. Sees that no one's there. Jumps up on the half wall. He's going to dunk a nade onto the site. Oh, that's a beauty. Obo down to 48. And now he's softened up for a potential hit.
Nice dunk there. But, you know, you're still a lot of damage dealt onto Bented, too. He's down to 29 HP, and Stanislaw's a Molotov prep for this run-up. In comes a flashbang. A second one will go over. Smoke goes as well, but Obo has the first. He's spraying away wildly, looking for a second kill. Jacob closing the gap, however. Obo tosses out his own Molotov and it extinguishes, but in the meantime, he sprays down Jacob as well. Obo still hanging on for the action. Liaz and Bentet low. Now just Liaz and Obo! He goes forward for a 4K, aggressing forward, looking for the ace. Mihu will have to finish the job. But EG are stonewalling Extremum on this attack. There's been nothing going for them. They're not going to call a timeout? Surely they don't call. Surely they call a timeout, right?
I don't know, but that nade. I mean, there was a nade in return towards Extremum, but still, I thought that they would have a path into the site. EG, on the other hand, well, they took care of business answering the call at every single turn. So now Extremum are relegated to 4 pistols and an AK. Bentet rocking that AK. He was very good for them on Mirage. Slowed down, though. Here onto Inferno. We do have Grat peeking around for some information at Boiler as a nade flies through into those apartments. Extremum playing very slowly and patiently here on their T side. No quick executes as of yet. And now Stanislaw potentially lining up a couple of frags. Good flashbang throw, and he gets one while he's flashed. That's actually Cirque to get them. No, it's Cirque! He comes through from Library, gets 2. Obo dropping Jacob, and Leah is the last one standing. Stan did go down in that engagement, but it doesn't really matter. That is 4+ bodies standing at the end of the round for, I think, 4 rounds in a row for EG, maybe even 5. This is really well played.
This is incredibly well played. Now the timeout comes out from Extremum. Look at their margin of error. 1 round. That's all they have. They can't lose 2 or it's over. EG, their defense is looking so incredibly strong. Extremum have not been able to get anywhere. Also, Opus at 20 kills. I don't remember when he got to 20 kills, but he's definitely been good so far today overall across all the maps.
Yeah.
That's an incredible margin for him to have at this point.
I mean,
huge.
He's been doing a great job. A lot of critical 2Ks coming through on the entries on his T sides throughout every single map. And right here on CT side, holding the fort. That was at the B site when he had a nice little multi-kill for himself. Evil geniuses. They've doubled up on Extremum. Oh, and they're going for the run boost here. And Cirque just barely misses connecting. Oh, would that have been a blow and a half for Extremum or what if he hits that? But he doesn't. So Extremum still trying to get their first round on the board in this second half. It's been 6 in a row for EG. Going back to the first half, 7 in a row. Stanislaw tossing a nade. That will connect on Jacob and Bentet for a little bit of damage. He's also got the Molotov ready. Throws that over. That will isolate 2 of the players while the other 3 will have to push up. Mihu's got another Molotov for them. Oh my goodness, they are in Hell's Kitchen. They have to throw the smoke down onto the Molotov. Mihu waiting on the other end at New Box, drops Asner, gets a second while he's blinded, and Stanislav blinded as well. Oh goodness gracious, then he hits the touchdown on Bentet. It's falling apart for Extremum, and Obo gets the last one. Map and series point for Evil Geniuses. 15-7. They are one round away from making the major.
This is an incredible turnaround for EG. The individual performances, the utility has been incredible overall on Inferno. That banana has been on lock every single time. There's been no room for Extremum to work about. There's been nothing for them to do, and they're on Galil's for their last round. Cirque is blinded. He does not connect the shot, but that hasn't stopped him before. Molotov will stall this push as Extremum look to rush towards A. Breeze holding aggressive in apartments just behind that smoke, may get aggressed upon first. Jakim waiting for that smoke to fade, hoping it favors him, but Breeze has other ideas. He'll toss a nade forward and spam away. Here's somebody get damaged, and does a lot more damage before he backs away.
Here we go. Could be the final round of play here. EG trying to close it out. Cirque swapping positions with his teammate. They want to get that op set up towards the B site. Rat tosses that smoke for Arch side. Extremum kind of telegraphing their play here. Mihu, as a result, going to spam through the smoke, and there is some information gained because they got the tracer fire back through. That's what Extremum wanted, though. They wanted to bait out some info there and rotate back to the B side. Is this the right decision? Call it! It comes in! Obo gets Jacob! It's all down to Ben 10. It's over! EG are going to Stockholm, ladies and gentlemen. 16-7 on Inferno. Oh my goodness, what a